Mabuhay, magandang buhay, mabuting tao, magandang buhay. Long live, good person, good life, good person. Once again, welcome to my another edition of The Inside Story, Philippine History. In the eyes of the retired teacher, and I've been a Philippine history teacher for 42 teaching years. For today, I would like to discuss on this edition about the inside story of the American colonization in the Philippines. First and foremost, I would like to start with this Treaty of Paris, which was signed on December 10, 1898, ending the colonization of the Americans in the Philippines. But let us go back to the background of this Treaty of Paris, wherein the Spanish government agreed that they're going to accept the amount of $20 million. Yes, that will be in consideration that the Spanish government will stop their colonization and turning over to the American government, the Philippines. Way back on August 13, 1898, there was so-called mock battle or fight that was not supposed to happen in Manila, August 13, 1898. Inasmuch as the Spanish government and the American forces agreed of a secret agreement which was not unknown to Aguinaldo at the time and his troops. We know well that Aguinaldo, the revolutionists, they are really loyal to the Americans at that time. But only those higher positions of the American government and the Spanish government knows about the plan. So it was not divulged to the Filipinos or to the Filipino revolutionists, which was led by Emilio Aguinaldo. You know what happened on that supposed to be just a drama, a mock battle at that time? It's a fight that is a dramatization only, which the ending, according to the Spaniards and the Americans, after that fight, the Spaniards will raise the white banner, which means they already surrendered to the American government. But it was all dramatization. The painful part is so many revolutionists of Emilio Aguinaldo died at that time. Why? Because they're thinking that it was a real fight. It was a real fighting between the Spaniards and the Americans. So they're really for the Americans, not knowing it was all just a drama or a dramatization that would end on the Treaty of Paris, signing the Treaty of Paris, which signifies that the Spaniards, they're already turning over the colonization, the sovereignty of the Philippines to the American government. So if we're going to assist this, evaluate everything, we were sold. The Philippines was sold to the Americans by the Spaniards. That is the inside story, which actually it was not written in historical books. It was just mentioned that there was a mock battle at that time on August 13, 1898 between the Spanish and the American forces, which Filipinos revolutionists really went to the fighting area thinking that it was a real fight, but it was not. So that is the inside story of Philippine history. Now, what about the benevolent assimilation that was declared by no other than the president at that time, by President McKinley? Okay, so President McKinley issued a declaration that the American government is having this benevolent assimilation. That was in December 21, 1898, in our history. The word benevolent, the synonym is kind. So it would mean, according to the Americans, they made a move to make us believe that we are our friends, that they're coming to the Philippines. It's not to colonize again the Philippines, but as friends. And the benevolent assimilation is having that so-called really they describe that kind, benevolent, or they will not really make the Philippines as what like the Spaniards have been, that there was abuses, torture, but it was an irony because it did not happen. The name of the Spaniards was only changed to Americans as colonizer. Nothing really happened that is for the good of the Filipinos. Okay, so to trace back history, we are really knowledgeable about that. But Magellan really rediscovered, not discovered, the Philippines. In as much as before the coming of Magellan, there are already our ancestors, the Atis, the Ita, we call them, the Malays residing here. And not only the group of Magellan was the first one to arrive in the Philippines. Prior to them, there are Portuguese. And we know well that Magellan himself is also a Portuguese in nationality. Only he served in the name of Spain, King Philip, because the king of Portugal did not believe to Magellan's idea, Ferdinand Magallanes or Ferdinand Magellan's idea, a Portuguese by nationality, that the world is round. Perhaps they were not able to look at the Bible in Isaiah that it was stated the world is really a circle one, this around. So that is, if you're going to look at that, 1521, the arrival, but take note, they did not immediately colonize the Philippines. It was on 1565 when Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, the Governor General, the first Governor General during the Spanish occupation, established the first settlement in Sugbo or Cebu. So that was already 1565. And it ended on 1898. So if you're going to solve that, compute in our mathematics rather, it would be exactly 333 years. Let me check. There are history books which states that only 300 years. The occupation, the colonization of the Spaniards in the Philippines. That's wrong. It should be 333 years for the record. And how about the Americans? Okay, 1898 to 1946. The occupation, a total of 48 years that we are under the American government or being colonized. But for the record, let me emphasize that year 1942 to 1945, there was an interruption of the American occupation in the Philippines because the Japanese colonized us again for 3 years only. Okay, but the Philippine independence was given by the Americans on 1946. So that's 48 years under the American colonization. Spaniards or Spanish government, 333 years to make the record straight. And also Japan, 3 years occupation. So this is the inside story. Will not believe on that that Americans are here. According to them, we went to the Philippines not as colonizer. That is only their strategy of really making that point that we will be under them. The policy, the reason that they justify the white man's burden that they have on their shoulder, the burden to teach us a civilization is really not a reality. It's not true. white man's burden, according to the American policy in the Philippines, is, according to them, they have the obligation, they have the moral obligation to civilize the Filipinos. Not so much as we are not civilized, that according to them, we are living like savage, animal, barbaros, just like that, no civilization. What is civilization? Civilization is a way of life that is modern and new. Yeah, complex. Okay, just a good example is, in prehistoric times, the ancient people, they are eating the frog as raw, no cooking, no fried palaka or frog there, whatever animals they have for hunting. No discovery yet of cooking, of fire, so on and so forth. So after we are already civilized, we know already about cooking technology. So civilization, when way of life, the people becomes complicated or complex or modern, new, that's civilization. But if we are just living in a simple payak way of life, still that is culture. But we can still describe the modern way of life as culture. And as much as the meaning of culture is a way of life that embraces the simple, the old, and the complex, or the new and the modern one. So therefore, class, all civilization is still culture, but not all culture is civilization. In as much as there are culture that is only simple, and also, of course, the complex one. So that is a wrong idea that they're coming, the Americans, is to civilize us. And it was really a sad thing that most of the Filipinos at that time believed that idea, that, oh, we are living in a barbaric way, uncivilized. Let me stress the three really determinants or tatak. What are the identifying marks that we are in a civilization? First and foremost, there should be, one is the discovery of the system of writing. Do we have a system of writing at that time during pre-Spanish period? No colonizer, no Americans. Yes, we have our alibata. We have our vowel sounds. Okay, that's system of writing. Number two, there should be an increase of population. So there's already a, that record that the population is already growing. Third, establishment of cities. There are already cities that was created. Now remember the Mohenjo-daro in India, that the remains of that. Now the Pakistan, now, yeah, on that area. Okay, so the Harappa, those are cities that was discovered by archaeologists. May I repeat, the three greatest remarks of a civilization are the following. We have the system or the writing, discovery of system writing, increase of population, and the creation of cities, and many more, like modern weapons, technology, our transportation, communication, trading, the science, the arts, music, dance, sports, medicine, the science of really having that operation, the perfume, so many. All these sciences. History is also a mark of civilization. Archaeology, anthropology, ethics, language, philosophy, psychology, law. So many of these sciences, biology, astronomy, taxonomy. We can enumerate as many as we can with this type of civilization, like genetics. With the emergence of all these sciences, we are now living in a civilization. So it's wrong idea, wrong notion that was put to us by the Americans at that time that we are uncivilized. We have our own clothing. The boys, they're having their kangan or the kangan. It looks like a chaleco, which is sleeveless, and they have the bahag. The girls, we have the patajong, the malong, the skirt, the baro at saya. You see, we are civilized. Government, yes, we have our dato system. During the pre-Spanish system, we are ruled by a dato, which holds the executive, legislative, and judicial branch of the government. The food, we have our very own food that we can identify as our own tatak Filipino food. What else? Our puto, our bibingka, our kakanin. How about the house? Do we have our house? Yes, we are already having the so-called baikubo. But what we have now that was given to us by colonizer is the concrete type of houses. And everything, we have our system of living that is already considered not only the one that is for the animals or that is as good as the animal way of life. So that's it. I would just like to deal on the inside story of Philippine history. I hope I have shared something about the background of Philippine history, which was not written in Philippine history books by different historians. So this is a product of my 42 teaching years in the service of Filipino people holding the subject Philippine history. Let me repeat again that those reason that was given by the Americans or colonizer is only for their own gain, not for us. Remember that mock battle of Manila, wherein it was headed by George Dewey, Commodore George Dewey, and Wesley Merritt at that time with the American government troops versus the Spaniards by Governor General Judinius at that time. So it was just fooling the Filipinos, not just a dramatization. I hope I have given justice to Philippine history at this moment, and we are learning something of the background, straightening and making it straight, our Philippine history. Thank you everyone for joining me for this afternoon edition straight from the retired teacher, your blogger, teacher being Erlinda being Basilio Rendon. Live and alive here in Davao City, Residencia del Rio Subdivision, Davao. Life is here in Davao City. Let me share again my words of wisdom. If there's no picture or video, it did not happen. What we have done is not excellent. We have done nothing. God is good all the time. Mabuhay, magandang buhay, mabuting tao, magandang buhay. Long live, good person, good life, good person. Mabuhay, and good morning and the afternoon. Thank you for watching my blog. Retired teacher being Erlinda being Basilio Rendon, signing off. Mabuhay until my next vlog. Thank you, FB friends, viewers, followers, and everyone on Facebook. Mabuhay! See you again.